Hello all, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is a part 3 of Azure Application Gateway Ingress Controller. We have discussed in a part 2 about greenfield deployment, and in a part 3 we are going to discuss about brownfield deployment. If you are not aware about what is greenfield and what is brownfield, I would suggest you go and check the part 1 of Azure Application Gateway. There I have explained in detailed manner about both the deployment options. So in brownfield deployment option, what happened? We already have a existing AKS cluster and existing application gateway. Now, if you want to expose your application through application gateway, then you will enable the Ingress controller add-on from the existing AKS cluster. So that process is called a brownfield deployment. So as of now, I have not created any application gateway and AKS cluster. So we are going to start from scratch. But the brownfield in a brownfield deployment, we have to integrate in a later. So that's what we are going to do here. Let me quickly go to my Azure portal. So the very first thing what we will do, I'll create a resource group. So I'll name it as a demo, and location I will choose Central India. Then we will create a AKS cluster. I don't have any existing cluster. This is where brownfield is basically in that case if you are running your application in a prod or live or UAT environment, and now you decide, okay, now I want to expose my application through application gateway. In that case, this option is useful. So let me quickly create a Kubernetes cluster. So I'll choose my resource group as demo, and cluster name I'll put it demo AKS, and rest all the fields I will leave it blank. In a node pool, I'll just change the size here. So I'll choose a size. Okay, this is also fine, D2SB3, and the node count also I will reduce because this is just a demo. Now in networking, as we discussed in a part 2 of greenfield options, we have to choose Azure CNI or KubeNet. Azure CNI overlay doesn't support add-on of Ingress controller. So I'll choose here Azure CNI, and rest all the fields I will leave it blank because we don't want anything. This is also I'll leaving default, and this is also I will uncheck because I don't want any Prometheus or alert rule for this particular AKS cluster. And I'll quickly hit preview and create. Once validation is succeed, we will hit on create. Then AKS deployment will is in progress, and it will take a few minutes or couple of minutes to create. So in between, I'll pause the video. Once the deployment is succeed, I'll resume back. So now our AKS deployment is completed. Let me go to resources, and we will quickly verify the add-on. So I'll go to my networking, and from here I'll go to virtual network integration. So you can see the Ingress controller is not enabled now. So now what I will do, I'll follow the same process. Now what I will do, I will deploy some demo or sample application on this AKS, and we will browse it. After that, we will expose that application through application gateway. So let me quickly connect to my AKS cluster. So I'll go to connect, and the option I will choose here is Azure CLI. So first thing, we have to log into the Azure. So this is the sample application ML file which I'm gonna use. So now you can see I have logged into my Azure subscription. Let me clear the console. Let me, okay. So the now what I will do, okay, we have to download the credentials as well. So I'll choose this option, this command basically, and I'll run it. So I will download the AKS credential in my local system, that then we can connect to the AKS. So if I'll clear it, if I'll run the command kubectl get pod, so you can see no resources found in the default namespace because we don't have any application running on this AKS cluster. So let me quickly remove this particular part, because from here we are going to integrate or we are going to create an Ingress controller pod here. So I'll just minimize this, sorry, remove this, and I'll just save it. So this configuration I'll save in my notepad file. So here this is the deployment which I'm going to create, and this is the image which I'm going to use, and this is the service which I'm going to create as a load balancer. Because I want to access this application through the browser, so it will allow us to provide a public IP addresses. If you don't want public IP address, you have a virtual machine in a virtual network where where is your AKS cluster, then you can use your cluster IP also. So for this particular demo, I'm going to use service type as a load balancer. Now let me run the command kubectl apply -f, and the file name is aksml. So you can see the deployment is created and service is created. So let me quickly verify the pods now. So container creating, so it will take a few seconds to create the container, and similarly I will verify services as well. So you can see the external IP addresses we got it. This is the IP addresses from where we will verify our application. So I'll just copy it and I'll open the browser. Let me run it. So we can see the page here, welcome to Azure Kubernetes service. It means the application is working fine. Now we want to access this particular application through application gateway. Now what I will do, I will create an application gateway. So as of now I don't have any application gateway. Let me quickly create the application gateway. I'll give it name app gateway 1, and the tier you have to use standard B2 or WFB2. This is the only supported if you are integrating with AKS. And the auto scaling, I leave it no, I don't want shown also. Okay, leave me rest all the fields I will keep it blank. Now I will choose a virtual network wherever AKS is deployed. So you can see we got this warning, subnet must not only have application gateway. So now we have to create one more subnet under this particular virtual network. So let me go to my virtual network. So I'll search here virtual networks. This is created by AKS cluster only. We don't have created any AKS, but in ideal scenarios you should create a application gateway in a separate virtual network and AKS in a separate virtual network, and then you can enable the peering between two virtual networks, so you can the resources can communicate with each other. So for this demo purpose, I am just quickly creating a subnet under AKS VNet itself. So I'll provide the name here, app gateway subnet, and rest all the fields I will leave it blank. So it's created. Now let me quickly close this. I will create again. So resource group, app gateway name, I'll use app gateway 1. Auto scaling, I'll turn it off. And now virtual network, I'll choose AKS bnet. And now you have to choose here the subnet, app gateway subnet. Now you have to provide a few front end, back end configurations. Temporary you can create, because otherwise AKS will not, Azure will not allow you to create an application gateway. So anyways, we need a public IP address. So I'll provide here name app gateway IP address, and this should be a standard. Now in a backend also we have to create a backend pool. So I'll choose temp backend pool. So this is a temporary backend pool I'm going to create, otherwise it will not allow me to create a application gateway. So I'll provide the public IP address here, and let me quickly add. Same thing we have to do here in a routing rule as well, because we got the front end, we got the back end. Now we don't have any routing rules. If I hit on next, it will not allow me to create application gateway. So let's quickly add a rule here. I'll provide the name here, rule 1, priority I'll provide 100, and okay, so here listener name I'll provide LSNR1. Now here backend target also you have to use, so I'll choose a target type backend pool, and from here I will create a new backend settings. So temp, and I click on add. This is the temporary thing which I am gonna use. Now as soon as you will integrate this application gateway with AKS, it will override all these settings. Let me click on OK. Now I'll go to AG and review and create. So now application gateway, again it will take couple of minutes to create. So validation is passed. Now you can see we are good to create app gateway now. Until this deployment is processing happening, meantime I will pause the video. Once it's completed, I'll resume back. So now application gateway deployment is completed. If I'll go to resources and quickly verify the backend pool and all. Okay, so I'll go to settings, backend settings. So this is the temp settings which we have created. Now you can see, and once we will integrate it with the AKS, we will you will see all these settings will be overridden. So let me quickly go to my AKS cluster, and so this is my AKS cluster, and I'll go to networking, and virtual network integration. So now I will enable this option here. As soon as you enable, you will see there is two options: new Ingress app gateway, or you can integrate the existing one which you have created. So I'm going to use my existing application gateway. That's what we want to achieve from here. Let me quickly save it. So now it will take again couple of minutes. We'll wait until the deployment is completed. So basically what is happening while it's saving the Kubernetes service, it's in a backend basically it's creating the pod, Ingress controller pod for us, and that Ingress controller pod will act as a mediator between API server and application gateway. So whatever the configuration we will apply on API server, this particular Ingress controller pod we will fetch those particular configuration and apply to the Azure Resource Manager, and from the Azure Resource Manager it will go through the app gateway and all the backend settings as we have seen. If you have not seen a part 2 of Greenfield deployment options, I would suggest go and watch it. There I have already shown what all the configuration like backend settings, front end, backend pool, all those things will be applied to through the Ingress controller pod. We will also see in this particular demo. So we'll wait once until this deployment or this service is getting saved. So now you can see this is saved now. Now what is the next thing we have to do? We have to update our YAML file, because we have to create a Ingress services. So I'll just copy this my configuration, and I'll paste it here. So now here we are going to resources called Ingress and the name application gateway. This is the annotation which I'm going to use. So let me quickly save it. Now I will run again the Kubernetes apply hyphen f. Now you can see the deployment and service is unchanged because we have not modified anything. We have just created the Ingress controller here. So if I'll just maximize this, let me clear the screen. kubectl get Ingress. So you can see this is the name of Ingress controller pod which is created, and this is the public IP address. So if I will quickly verify this IP addresses from where it's coming, basically 20.235. So let's quickly verify from the app gateway. So you can see 20.235. This is the front end IP or public IP address of our application gateway, which is getting on this Ingress controller pod. So in a backend, this is the I would say head which is going everything for us in a background. So if I'll browse our application from this particular IP address, this is the IP addresses of 204. Sorry, my mistake. I'm wrong. This is 205.229, and let me quickly see the IP address of Ingress controller pod 229. So this is the basically a load balancer IP addresses, the previous one, and this IP address is of the service. If I'll run the command again, kubectl get services. So now you can see 204.223. This is the IP addresses of load balancer, and this is the IP address of the Ingress controller service 205.229. And you can see the 205.229 we are able to access our application, and from the load balancer IP address also we are able to access the application. And this is the IP addresses of our application gateway which we are getting on this particular Ingress controller pod 205.229. And if I see it 205.229, this is the public IP address of our application gateway. Now let's quickly verify the backend settings, because we have created something called temp backend settings. Now you can see everything is got replaced. So for temporary purpose you have to define those things, because you cannot create without these configuration you cannot create the application gateway. That's why you have to define it. If I see the backend pool also, you can see we have defined the name here, backend temp backend pool. Now we are getting something different here. So this all the data we are getting from this particular Ingress controller pod. So if I'll quickly check the logs of our Ingress controller pod, kubectl get logs. Okay, kubectl get pods -a. So this is the pod name. I'll copy it. Let me clear the screen. kubectl logs. Now I will provide the name of our Ingress controller pod here. Okay, something is wrong. Error from server not found pod. Let's quickly verify again. kubectl get pods -a. Okay, so basically we are getting this error because we have to define the namespace. So because till now like still it's searching this particular pod in a default namespace, but this pod is in a cube-system namespace. So now you can see we are getting these many logs, and the interesting part here, you can see the front end ports, front end IP configuration, back end HTTP settings, all these things is managing by Ingress controller pod now. So that's all for today. That's how I hope it's clear how we can create a greenfield and brownfield deployment. So I think that's all for today. See you next video. Thank you so much.